Echoes of the High Noon Showdown. In the dusty town of Silver Gulch, where the scorching sun turned the streets into molten rivers of gold, whispered tales of elusive shadows danced among the tumbleweeds. The name Hank Blackjack Malone rang through saloons like a haunting melody, a gunslinger known for leaving a trail of bloodshed in his wake. His eyes, sharp as the edge of a blade, gleamed with the promise of easy fortune, drawing him to the local bank like a moth to a dangerous flame. As he swaggered through the swinging doors of the Silver Dollar Saloon, Rosie's gaze, like a compass pointing north, followed him with a mix of worry and longing. A savvy trader with a heart as vast as the plains, she masked her feelings beneath a veil of cool composure. Unbeknownst to Blackjack, Rosie held secrets as tightly as a gambler clutches his last winning hand. Meanwhile, a lone figure perched on the edge of town, leaning against the sun-bleached wood of the general store. Willow, the town's peculiar gunslinger, gazed out at the horizon with eyes that mirrored the endless expanse of the prairie. Once a notorious outlaw, she had traded her life of lawlessness for a new purpose, to protect Silver Gulch from the likes of Blackjack and his ilk. When the moment of reckoning arrived, and the noon sun hung high like a burning brand in the sky, Blackjack and his gang rode into town like thunder rolling across the plains. Dust billowed in their wake, swirling around them like vultures circling a fallen beast. The bank stood before them, a fortress of stone and iron, its doors a looming barrier between them and their ill-gotten gains. But as Blackjack reached for the handle, a sharp voice cut through the haze of tension like a bullet slicing through the air. Willow stepped into the light, her presence as unexpected as a storm in the desert. With a smirk as sharp as the blade at her hip, she laid down the law with a challenge that set the stage for a deadly game of wits. The climactic showdown unfolded as Rosie's true allegiance was revealed, a twist of fate as brutal as a gunshot ringing out in the silence. In a flash of steel and smoke, loyalties shifted like sand in the wind, leaving Blackjack outnumbered and outgunned. The echo of gunfire ricocheted off the walls of Silver Gulch, blending with the cries of betrayal and the pounding of hearts laid bare. As the dust settled and the shadows lengthened, Willow stood victorious, her eyes like chips of silver in the fading light. She had outplayed the outlaw, proving that sometimes the deadliest weapon was not a gun, but the will to fight for what was right. In the dying embers of the day, Silver Gulch whispered its gratitude to the unlikely savior, a gunslinger with a heart as wild as the untamed West. The town's quiet returned, but the echoes of the High Noon Showdown lingered in the air, a reminder of the day when courage and cunning triumphed over greed and violence. Willow, now a legend in her own right, continued to watch over Silver Gulch, her presence a silent promise of protection. Rosie, her secrets now laid bare, found solace in the newfound peace, her heart no longer burdened by the weight of hidden truths. Blackjack's gang, scattered like leaves in the wind, left behind a town forever changed. The people of Silver Gulch, once living in the shadow of fear, now walked with heads held high, their spirits unbroken. And as the sun set on another day, the town's whispers turned to tales of heroism and hope, carried on the wind to distant places where shadows dared not tread. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss my videos. Oh, by the way, did you hear about the cowboy film about the sun? It's set in the West,